Hey everybody, this is Peter Palmiotti of Untitled Studios, and this is Making Comics and Art, episode 152. And shortly, I should be joined by Ictus and perhaps some others. But meanwhile, so I did a week of Inktober, and I realize I'm way too busy. Got way too much to do. So I did 7 pieces. Come on, cat hair. Get out of there. So how is everybody doing? Are you subscribed? I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. So close now. So close. Did you like the video? Well, go like it. Are you a Patreon? Go to my Patreon. Become one. All that stuff. So here I am. I'm working on Retro. Hey, Crimson Owl Comics. Welcome, welcome. How you doing, buddy? All right, Gunther. How's your comic going? All right, just the basics. So, yeah, this is page 20. This is the last page. There he is.
What is up, Total Excellence? How are you doing, Peter?
Doing good, doing good. We got somebody watching. Crimson Owl. I'm okay. Long progress, but good. Yep. Yeah, I'm working on my comic retro. What do you got going on, Ictus?
I'm coloring the flock, but it's not a page I should show yet because
Gotcha.
it's kind of like spoiler territory. But it's literally one of the beginning pages. I'm on page 2 right now, coloring it. I'm pretty much almost done, and I'll be turning it in soon to Scott.
Cool.
How far are you with retro now, Peter?
Well, this is page 20 of 28, so still a little ways to go as far as the inking. But it's like I have inks on every page. I just got to finish the last, 9 pages.
Right.
Then I'll be diving into coloring.
Ooh, very excited for you. I'm very excited of how you're going to approach your comic with coloring, because, with coloring you can... it really depends, because the art style really... within an artist's art style, like, really depends on the colors and how you approach it, as well as how the story is. So it's very fun. It's a fun little challenge, but it's really interesting. I learned a lot when I was learning coloring this past year. So I'm taking the advanced classes, and literally the first thing I picked was I scrolled down. It's like, how to choose coloring that's appropriate for an art style. So I'm like, all right, let me take a look at this. And it was just like a brief lecture, but it pretty much makes sense. It's just that you got to be, the whole how can I say? The whole point for the colorist is to make the art look advance or enhance the work, and you just want to look. It's like, yeah, the ink work, like, it's good, but once you see the colors, like, oh my gosh, it's like, you just want to have the reader feel like they have to debate over whether they like the line work or the colors. So I it's just me. I love line work, and I think that's what caused me to like go more advanced into coloring. Is like, it's like I just want you to have a debate as we speak.
Right. Well, I'm going to approach the coloring retro very much like an 80s comic, so
Okay.
old school, simple approach, might have, 2 or 3 variations, like, like his costume's red and purple. So there might be highlights or shadows or, that kind of thing, but it's going to be pretty simple, straightforward, at least to start. At least until I get more advanced. I just, I want to get this book done. It will look good, colored, old school. And I want to get it done, get it out there, and so I can move on. I'm kind of thinking, I was hoping to crowdfund the next issue, but like this year. But I'm thinking it's probably best to do that next year. So I might do that in February.
Okay. February is a good month.
Yeah. It'll give me an opportunity to get more on top of things. I got way too many projects going, and then people are constantly hitting me up for more work.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. It's good and a bad thing. It's good because, you have extra cash in your pocket to fund your project, but it's also, time away from the table for you to work on your project. So, I mean, it's a good, and I mean, I see more good than bad. Because again, like, if you want like a certain artist to do like maybe a print for you or a variant cover to pull some of their viewers or their fan base over to you, it's worth to look at.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I got all I need for the first issue. I'm not doing. I decided I'm not doing variants, at least for the immediate future. That's just my belief of it's like I love old comics and how the covers are so iconic. You don't get that nowadays because every comic has 36 covers. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
If you want to know the person you want to blame for, you can blame for Todd McFarlane, because he thought of the idea for variants for I think it was like Spider-Man 300 issue, that he wants to do like 2 versions of, like, one with the black suit, which was the main cover, and then the variant was Spidey with his red and blue suit, and they thought it was a stupid idea. So instead of that, they just said, like, you're gonna get the suit back, the red and blue, so we're gonna put in 301. So it's basically the same cover, except there's a green circle and it's a white comic cover, which is, I don't know. It was dumb, but at least he had something going on with that idea. And I think later on, I think he said, like, I think once he left is when they started doing like variant covers, but I'm not very sure of that per se, but he did, he was the one that poked the ideas, like, well, why don't we just do more than one cover?
Yeah,
especially if it's a selling book.
It's not, business wise, it's not a bad idea, and obviously the fans love it because everybody's buying variants. But you know, I am trying to build something here, and you know, it's my company. I do things my way. You know.
Passive aggressively saying it.
You know, if it doesn't work, then I'll concede. But we'll see how it goes. But
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't see the comment. What's up, Crimson? How are you doing, dude?
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I just switched over to the browser now and to see like the chat. Sorry about that, Crimson. But yeah, man, it's pretty exciting, man. I cannot wait for. I was so happy to within the news that we were fully funded on Kickstarter for the Flock, man. I'm just so freaking happy.
Yeah, and that's still going. It's got 19 days. I'm not sure.
I believe so. Maybe like 19 or 18 days. Let me double check
Yeah.
now because Scott just tweeted that I believe this morning that someone backed it. So now we're at 21 people, I believe. Yeah, 21. Yeah, 15 days to go.
15, cool. Yeah, if you don't know the book, go check it out. The Flock on Kickstarter.
Yeah, if you want, Peter, I'll make sure to like hook you up with some examples because there are colors that literally like are dedicated to like the old style of like CMYK, like magenta, orange, and all this stuff. Like I've bookmarked a thread, and it's one of the modern X-Men books, and they literally like I don't know how they were able to get the line art from the artist, and they converted all those colors into like like the classic 80s comics and all this stuff, like how to make it more retro, and it looks so cool. I'm like, what the heck? It just brings a whole new approach of the book when you read it, and the color choices they use. It's pretty wild. Actually, let me actually share it to you, and then just talk about it. So just give me some time, guys. Just hang in there. I just got to go through my bucket full of bookmarks on Twitter. But yeah, but
No
it's
worries.
beautiful, man. I mean, awesome work. So, are there any other projects you're working on, Peter, or like it's just
Yeah,
just
yeah.
keeping a zip and then until they announce it?
I got no, I mean I'm open, you know, there's probably a couple of things I can't talk about, but
Right.
you know, I'm doing a book called American Alchemist, in which I'm doing I think 7 covers.
Oh wow.
And I'm also going to be inking one of the stories. Um, you know, I just showed off a cover for Tragedy 2. That's Philip Ressert, my art rep, his comic, and that's going to Kickstarter
Okay.
or Indiegogo. One or the other, November 1st. I think Indiegogo. I forget now. And so that will be crowdfunded, and Russ Cassidy is going to be coloring that cover. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know if you saw it yet, but it's insane cityscape behind the character who's falling through the sky.
Oh, I actually did see that when I believe you retweeted it. I believe I saw it. It was, bro, it's insane.
Yeah, and plus she's like shot in it, so it should be really cool.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, that took me a bit. That took me a couple days.
I bet, man. That's it. The amount of details you put in is freaking holy crap. I'm like,
Yeah,
God.
it's like that kind of thing. I lose my mind. I mean, I love, it's like I started out, assisting other anchors, when I first started, and originally just filling in blacks, but then I
Right.
moved up to inking backgrounds,
hmm
and I really like inking backgrounds. It's like something that's fun, but it's like there's so much work on that page, and cover, and so much like it's like am I hitting all the marks? You just lose track after a while.
Right. Yeah. Oh. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's like, I don't know. I just can just think in my head like the amount of details with the character itself. It's a lot. Sorry about that, Peter. But
No,
the
bro.
amount of details for like the key for like all of the how can I say the amount of like all those buildings and the details, all of those buildings, while you have to care, while you have to draw this character and making sure like it's in the right perspective.
Yeah.
As I mean, shoot, bro.
Yeah, it's like an artist I never worked with before. Alex, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, or
Right,
but he did an amazing job, and I just try to be true to what he put down.
right. So this is taking longer than expected.
No,
Because
no
it's
worries,
very,
man.
really deep. I think I'm getting close to it though.
But okay, so yeah, that anthology is one. I'm writing a story for another anthology that I'll be inking. Working on the Wildcat Anthology
Oh wow, that's dope.
that I'm inking. Um, what else I got going on? Oh well, the big thing is um, I'm forgetting the name. What is it? It used to be called Chosen Few. Now it's called Designated.
Okay.
And that's going to be a graphic novel. I'm just about done with, technically like the first issue. Because what's going to happen is they're going to digitally release the issues as single issues, but the whole thing will be released in print form as a graphic novel at some point. So I'm like pretty much like a fifth of the way there. And working with my friend on his book, Hawk in New York. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of stuff. There's a sort of American manga comic I'm working on with
Oh wow.
Aletha Martinez. She's the artist that there's like a black Wonder Woman. She was the artist on that, so
Right.
she's really, really good.
Yeah, no,
A
that's
bunch
exciting
of
stuff.
stuff. It's like, yeah, it's like I'm jumping all over the place, trying to have enough income coming in, keep my head above water, as well as push projects forward, and of course push retro forward.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, lately it's been a lot of like like I said, I just did the tragedy cover. I did a Mavericks cover.
Yeah.
I did a piece for Ton Radner with Ice Pick. I did a piece for this other book I some Japanese name that's for their Kickstarter. It's like, so there's a lot of random work I've done recently. On top of the books.
Nice.
We got more people showing up.
What's up, Landon?
Landon.
What's up, dude?
Just woke up. 24 eyes. Welcome. Turning in a variant curve for Bleak Haven Comics today. It's a doll whose face opens up with a monster inside. Cool.
Wow, it's pretty dope.
In a cornfield at sunset is pretty cool. But after that, I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll find something.
What's up?
There he is. Ictus and Peter.
What's up,
Welcome,
buddy?
welcome.
Oh man. So Peter, I put a share screen, so I finally found the thread for like the retro colors. So there you go, man. Like literally, it's like a modern take of this. Is like was a House of X issue 1, and this was from a Reddit post, and the person got from the moved it over to Twitter. And you could see, like, this is a whole new other approach of, like, the pages and stuff, just, like, old style of, like, just the old comics. And, my God, man, it's just so good. I'm like, wow.
I love the colors on that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's just so great.
And it's just simple, straightforward, like nothing fancy. But it looks so pretty, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's just a choice of colors. It's not even like, I don't think this colors even add shadows. It's just literally just flat colors, but keeping it consistent with like, like the CMYK, like magenta, gotta remember like all these colors too, because, everything with printing and stuff, and all these colors easily you can like print it and it's going to look exactly how you're going to see it on the screen. Won't be like slight altercations of the colors compared to what you see on the screen. Like everything you see is going to be printed just like that colors. It's just, oh my God, man. Beautiful work. Yeah, man. It's like, and then this thread, like, it just expands even more. It's just, again, just flat colors. But it's just keeping it consistent with just how these old comics are.
Yeah.
And just like that. It's like
it says cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Yeah. It's the basics.
Yeah, man. Cyan, magenta, yellow. Thank you so much, Nefarious, because I just have like a brain fart. But yeah, man, it's like, this is a huge thread. Oh, I already showed this. Let me show the last. I think this is the last page within the thread.
That's very, and I'm picky. I'm like, very picky when it comes to things. Should be colored, and
right.
So, send that link to me, and I'll make sure to go check it out.
Most definitely, Peter. Yeah, it's very interesting approach and all this stuff. I mean, God, this is just great. It's so simple too, but it's just the colors strike you.
Yeah.
Even the modern look of like the Fantastic Four, it still feels like you're looking at a Kirby book, in a certain in a way. It's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, who is this? Telepathic Buddy Comics is here. Sup?
All right, let me.
Welcome. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. a heads up.
Crazy. There we go. But yeah, dudes. Pretty excited. Oh, what's up, Telepath Bunny? Shoot, you surprised me.
You the mod over here in the comments. I think I did make him mod, or made a bunch of people mod. I forget who. It's like I figure these people show up all the time. Let them do stuff.
Yeah, right. Why not?
Why not?
What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, but I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Literally almost done. I just need to do like little adjustments on the page of the flock, and then what is it? And then just turn it in. I set like 2 variations of the page due to the theme of the next book.
Right.
But I'll just see what Scott will say, because he says like maybe the first few pages, just to keep it how I colored it from the flock, and then I think in the certain pages just change it up the color scheme, because it's gonna be like originally he was gonna make another campaign to do issue 4 of it, because it's gonna be like it's a theme for this month, Halloween and stuff, but due to due to the scheduling and the timing of the colors and stuff, like that's when he made the switch and got me on board. So things tend to happen within the campaigns, but at least now with what me and Scott learned is that we had a meeting, I believe. Yeah, we had a meeting last week. So I believe like once we're like 90 or 95% almost completing with the flock, is like people who backed it will get their books immediately, and there won't be any delays or anything like that. So we're making sure that once we get this book done, it's done. But I believe Scott's going to change it up for issue 4. I don't know if I could say this or not, but it's told me it's secrecy, so I'll stay quiet for now. I don't want to get in trouble, and people be DMing him saying like, "Hey, why are you making this decision? What? Who told you? Oh, he was on Peter's stream," and then they'll like time lock it too. It's like when I said it.
Yeah. So Connor, otherwise known as Telepathic Bunny, says, "Are you sure you should have a mod named Nefarious?"
That happened the same thing with my guest. Is like there was I think I forgot to put Nefarious as a mod, and he wrote it on the chat. It's like, "If I forgot to put me as a mod," and then they're like, "Are you sure you would like give people like the wrench for them just asking you that?" I'm like, "Nah, it's like Nefarious is cool. I mean, the name is very conflicting, but he's a cool dude."
Yeah. The story I'm doing for anthology story I'm doing for Wildcat, which is Brian. Now I'm gonna forget his last name. Yeah, I'm forgetting his last.
It's called Wildcat.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to get confused with Jim Lee's Wildcats. So I'm like, holy crap, what? Wait,
it's not Wildcats. No, it's this sort of cyborg werewolf kind of character, and a bunch of people doing stories, including Brian himself. Smallwood, I forget. I'm not 100% sure. But the story I'm doing, I'm doing inks. It's penciled by Abel Parsons. It's written by Lucifer Storm, So it'll be a lot of fun. Not sure if we're doing gray tones. We'll see if we have time. It's going to be printed black and white. But should be good.
All right, gotcha. I'll be right back, Peter. I gotta make this
Okay.
quick phone call.
Sure. So now we can talk about this. Where are you, telepathic? Why don't you jump in here? Why not have a mod-named supervillain? Busby the Wildcat, very underrated. I know that book. You're like me, telepathic. I type fast. Sometimes I misspell a lot. So Rich Fisher is the pencil artist, and he kind of speeded through this page, and there's like little details I'm trying to figure out to make sense of the background. I guess this would be. Okay.
All right, sorry about that, Peter.
No problem.
So yeah, man. So let me see. I saw a comment from Telebunny. What he said: Bubsy the Bobcat was very underrated. I don't know how to say this to you, T, but no. Just no. Bubsy is just a mixture of every video game mascot into one, and they just chose a bobcat. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, at least with Sonic, he's like an edgy version of Mario that Nintendo wouldn't push Mario to do, but they can do it with Sonic. Bubsy is just Bubsy. He just tests your patience and just questions your humanity along with it every comment he makes. Oh, come on. Maybe in your time, but maybe it's because of I don't know. I just don't see it, man. I just don't. His jump to 3D was just a sad end to his legacy. But yeah, I was huge into like video games and all this stuff, and like looking into like development and the story behind it. And the story behind the development with Bubsy was pretty interesting. It's just, a group of dudes in a small studio just trying to make a game in my time. Oh, man. So it's like, a couple of dudes, just in the studio want to make a game. And, the biggest thing was like 2D platform games. So you had Mario, that's the king of that platform. Then you got Sonic, that's trying to deplatform Mario to this edgier version of it, and just make variations of levels just to make it more challenging. I mean, like they advertise it for Sonic to be like fast and all this stuff, but like at least in the first game, is like there's just so much pauses from him even going fast. It's like, okay, now you're just taking your time going through these platforms, so it just defeats the whole purpose of the marketing. So at least with Bubsy, like his thing is like he's just this loudmouth character where he just does everything. He just does absolutely everything. Let me see. If you waited long enough, Bubsy started knocking on the screen like, "Hey, man, where are you?" Yeah, those were one of the little Easter eggs that they said. It's pretty cool. It's breaking the fourth wall.
That's like Sonic when you waited, he tapped his foot or something.
Yeah, he tapped his foot, but he like I remember one time like I walked away and I saw him tapping his foot, and I was just watching him. The next thing you know, like he literally jumped out of like the level, and then it said game over. So he got impatient with you. So
Oh,
that that was an instant game over for you just being away from the controller for so long.
yeah.
It's just so fun, but oh man, it's just um oh my goodness. Uh but yeah, but games are not like that anymore, unfortunately. I mean, I think now it's becoming more of a luxury since now they can update the game compared to like how they did before, where like, they have to, again, like the practices with the game industry is pretty radical, and I don't know, they should really figure that out because these guys would be in crunch mode for like hours on end. I mean, we're talking about like they're supposed to go home and they're still in the
Yeah.
studio just making sure like they get this game on the deadline. If not, like they're in big trouble.
Yeah.
And just making sure, and of course, like you have these game testers just to make sure that this is a smooth game and there's nothing that's going to be game breaking when you play the freaking game. And then it's like, oh well, this here it started jittering when I play this or something. It's or when the character's walking, all of a sudden now he's floating up and you can't see him anymore. It's like God. It's very like game development is very brutal. I mean, on the surface level, it's great, but when you really look into it, and I believe there is a documentary with Double Fine when they were developing Broken Age, and it was like at that time, I believe it was 2013 or 2014. It was considered to be the most funded Kickstarter within that platform for at least maybe even for a video game. And like yeah, it's like I believe it was like God, I'm still trying to remember, but at that time it was a lot. And that's when I discovered Kickstarter was because of Tim Schafer. And they literally like he even promised in the campaign as well as like we're gonna document our whole development. So it's another way for backers to even like you know watch an episode and get updates as well, just to like see the progress of the game. And then of course later on, like once they deliver it, now it's free for everyone to watch it, and you can even buy the DVD as well. And there's like extra content as well, so it's pretty dope.
R.I.P.
Oh
Back
my
to the
god! Oh man. I
uh,
honestly have not played the game. I played the first game, but the second one I didn't. I mean, I hear a lot of mixed. Like I heard mix of positive and then the negative. So I haven't played it. I stopped playing games for like 2 or 3 years because I want to focus on my craft. So
yeah.
I'm out of that space. But I mean, I keep myself up to date, like what's going on within the game industry.
I watched the first Last of Us, the playthrough on YouTube.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah, that was cool. It's like watching a movie. Um,
exactly.
and I thought it was really good. I started watching the second one. I don't know. I got busy and didn't really get too much into it, but
Mhm.
the graphics are astounding and the story was cool and I did a little Easter egg on the last page, which is in the other room. Otherwise, I'd grab it. But
Yeah.
years ago, when I first got into video games,
Oh wow.
as my
Okay.
old friend Dennis, we used to go like back in the day. Times Square in New York
Oh wow.
had three big arcades, and we worked like Park Avenue, so we walking distance And we used to walk there after work and spend like an hour or two just like playing video games at the arcade. So like we talked about, maybe making a video game. So in one of the panels, it's the wall of a bar. I put Die Dummy Die because that was like a name of a video game we were going to create but never did.
Oh man, that's heartbreaking. I don't know who's who because I know for sure, Peter, you're the artist. So is your other friend going to be the programmer, or what was the situation that you weren't able to do?
Yeah. I mean, like he worked for some big companies. He know different computer languages and all that. So he would have been, he would have been a programmer. I would have figured out the crazy graphics. But
Right.
it was something we talked about, but never really got serious about, because it involved, like making a video game involves a ton of work, even a basic stupid game, like
Yes.
shooter or whatever. It's like it takes a really long time. I remember like way back when I got my first computer, and I only had a cassette drive. Not even a floppy. I had a cassette drive.
Yeah.
There were like, gaming magazines or whatever, and like in the back of one was, type in all this program language and you can have a shooter game or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
And it just like pages and pages of code, and it was like it just typed it all in, saved it on the cassette drive.
Wow.
Which took forever. And then it was like beep boop beep, stupid useless video game.
Oh man. I know, man. I know around your time, you guys. I don't know. I have so much respect with the dudes back then, where like they, we at least around my time it's like you just go to YouTube and you're gonna see like tutorial how to create a shooter game or a 2D platformer. Hell, even with Unity 3D, you can buy templates. So at least now you literally have a starting point to like start your project. You can start doing prototypes and all this stuff, and you can have people just game test it. You can just look for a website, or you can just bring your laptop, whichever way make it more easier on yourselves. Just to go on a web browser, you can put in your game, and all you need to do is just encode it into the web browser, and it'll be playable. And I use Unity, so it was way easier. Unity makes it so simple and easy. So I encoded the into the web browser, so then I can just send a link and just have people just play test it for me, or I
Right.
can for my friends, my close friends, I can just go over to the house and bring my laptop and they play test it, and I get a more authentic reaction and see how they would react to playing the game, and they can tell me, in person how they felt, so I can just give them questions and all this stuff. It was a lot of fun. I mean, game development is fun, but it's a lot of work and a lot of patience. And if you do not have proper knowledge of it and a well-developed team around it, then it's you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah. All right. One of my cats is meowing outside. I get over there. I'll be right.
It's all good, man. I can totally relate to you with the cats. Let me check on the comments. Actually, I'm gonna go back to my browser.
Maybe. Hopefully she'll leave me alone. So Connor, how to go? Gotta run some errands. Have a great stream, Pete and Itchy. Itchy.
Later,
Take this.
Yeah, I know. It's just this thing where like people just ignore my the 5 as an S, so there's like, oh well, it's Ichthy. I even had the funny thing is like even on my Twitters, like if you just look in the profile, I even put like parentheses for you to pronounce it. And I don't know, it just does not work out for me, man. I just don't know.
Somebody called you Itchy recently, and that's what I remembered.
Oh yeah. I have a business card too. This is like an old business card of mine, but it's like I even put like parentheses how you pronounce my name.
Yeah,
but
I got that on my Facebook. How to pronounce my last name?
Oh my gosh.
Palmiotti.
Palmiotti.
Get it right.
Yeah, man. I wish I could say the same, but I empathize with them. It's like, what is this? Why is his name? Why didn't you just keep an S and like, nah, I like numbers. I like to challenge people. But yeah, man. I think I'm good to go to send this to Scott. So I'm pretty satisfied. Hopefully he is. Well, most of the time he does. It's very rare that he'll say, "Oh, just to make fixes," and they make sense with the colors because sometimes the colors I might use blend too much, either in the background or maybe yeah, they might blend too much in the background. So it's just quick little fixes, but most of the time it was very smooth, and he likes literally like 99.9% of the things I turn in. He just says, "Wow, this looks great," and all this stuff, and it's very encouraging, man. I love working with Scott. Like Scott is very organized, and I think that's something that is a huge plus. And I make sure too that we're very well communicated because there'll be times where people would like whether it be in a stream or they'll just DM me out of nowhere. They'll say, "Hey, like I want to commission you for this color piece and this and that." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Then I just let Scott know on the spot, like, "Hey, look, this person, hit me up. It might be a 50-50 chance. I don't know. I'm just letting you know on the spot." He's like, "Yeah, sure. No problem."
Right. Landon says, "I like calling you Itchy."
Wait, what? Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh.
That's from Itchy and Scratchy. That's what I think of.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's just people that call me Itchy. They'll think like I have some kind of rash or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I just call myself Itchy.
You get that comic book rash.
Yeah, right. Just got that comic book rash of like whenever I see something black and white, I gotta color it. It's like it needs to be in color. But it's a manga. I don't care. It needs to be colored.
Let me color the first 4 pages.
Yeah, right. Just to like get that itch away.
So you ever notice in manga that they color the first couple of pages and everything else is black and white?
Yeah.
I think so. Like what the costumes look like in color. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think by the time you finally get to see it in color is when they freaking make the anime, and they just go all out.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I was watching a video about, I don't know if you know Blade of the Immortal.
It sounds very familiar now that you said that.
It's a manga that it was published by Dark Horse years ago.
Oh, yeah. I've actually read it. It was Pretty interesting.
I,
Pretty really
I've
dark,
read
but
I've
crazy.
read a lot of random issues. At some point I'm going to go and read the whole thing.
Right.
But I always loved the artwork, but I've misinterpreted and never really thought about it or looked into it. That I
Mm-hmm.
always thought it was brushwork, but it's pencil. It's just
Mm.
pencil drawn in pencil, and that's how it is. And
Really?
um, yeah, and I don't know. Maybe there is some brushwork, but my understanding is from what I heard from people is that it's all pencil work.
That's
And
insane.
yeah, because normally I don't like when they print pencils and it looks mushy.
Right.
But that book I always loved the look of it.
Mm.
What? You gonna leave me alone? Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Just act like every other cat, please. There's a reason why I didn't want a dog. You're not making this easy for me.
Dogs are easy to handle, I think.
Really?
Because you can tell them what to do and they'll listen. Like cats, you tell what to do, and they may decide to listen to you. Mine certainly don't, which is why I usually have them outside.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, get out of here for the day. I'll see you tonight.
I'll see you tonight.
I played with you. I fed you. Now get away.
Now get away. Yeah, I don't know. I tend to like cats more because they're more independent, and since I'm more like I like to be in my own because this is my workspace, so I just like to be in my own space and all this stuff, and just do what I need to do and just work. And
Yeah.
whenever my cat comes, she'll come and she'll come next to me, and I'll just pet her. It's like, oh, But with dogs, it's I just feel like you got to pay more attention to them, and they're more attentive, so it's like you have to give them that love. I looked at Landon's comment now. I'm like, hold up, what?
And the cat fur sometimes makes me itchy.
Oh man. Oh man, Landon, you are a funny gentleman, dude. Give me the itchies.
The funny thing is, when I was really young,
Right.
I was totally allergic to cats.
Really?
Yeah, I used to sneeze my head off.
Oh
But
man.
it's like your allergies can change with your age.
Right.
And because I was highly allergic to like dust. It's
Mm,
like I cleaned the house and I'd be sneezing my head off as I did it.
right.
Or I played with a cat and I'd be sneezing my head off and my eyes would turn red and I just it's like couldn't breathe. um, but as I get older, it's like, yeah, they don't affect me at all now.
That's good.
Yeah. And I even had a cat when I was young.
Mm.
It's like I don't care. I'll sneeze my head off. I want to play with you.
That's funny. Let me see. But yeah, man, it's always been like I don't know. It's been. I remember there was this movie. It was a kids movie, so of course, like there was this funny movie called Cats versus Dogs. And, oh
Sounds
man,
right.
yeah, no, it's like I believe like there was actual cats and dogs, but like once they get them to like talk and stuff and make them certain movements, that's when they switch it to CGI. So
Mm,
it's been a long time, so I don't know how the CGI looks now for today's standards of CGI work, but I don't know. It was very interesting. I haven't seen the sequel of it. I only watched the first movie, and I was like, oh man, it's pretty intense because I had what is it? I had a dog and two cats, and I
right,
only had one cat who was very, very a troublemaker. But he was the youngest because we had him since he was a kid, and so he'll
right.
just test me. He'll test people's patience. Like he'll just start fights, or like he'll just run around the house and just try to do backflips on the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, what is this?
They love to have fun. That's all they're doing. They can be a pain in the ass a lot of
Yes.
times. Sometimes they play when you're sleeping.
Hmm. Yeah.
they'll,
No. I.
they'll jump on the bed and you'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Who's attacking my? Oh man, no, my cat, like the cat I have now, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's her thing, but her thing is like, if she sees your feet move, she will bite you, and I'm like,
Oh
no,
yeah, oh
oh
yeah.
man,
Under
she,
the covers, they love attacking the covers and yeah, digging their nails into your flesh.
ah, God, I just can't, man. Like, I don't know, like my cat, like me and her were like best friends. Is like she would like watch everything I watch. Like I watch like when she was a kid, like we watched like pro wrestling. And since she was so
Right,
small, like she'll like sleep under your neck, which I did not mind. It was cute. But once she got older and stuff, like my dad, I swear, man, he'll just convert cats into dogs. And now, like, he taught her how to bite whenever, like, she gets annoyed. And I'm like, no, why did you do that? So it's like, so every time I walk and she'll, like, make a certain, like, meow, like, her meow will get deep and, like, her
right,
tail will get, like, puffed up. Oh, man. She's like, you better pay attention to me now or I'll bite you, is what she's saying.
right.
Oh my gosh, like yeah, no, I made sure that, I just like tap her nose and let her know like no, like you don't play that game with me.
Yeah. One of my cats is a kitten, and if you like walk down the hallway fast, she'll
Mhm.
she'll like jump up on you, like bounce off you, like attacking your legs as you're walking and shit.
Yeah, no, that's the same
it's
thing my
it's
cat does too.
it's
God.
it's it's cute and funny, and but like if you're not paying attention, like she'll get you. Landon says, "How many cats do you have now, Peter? I know you had to get rid of some."
My God.
Yeah, I mean, my cat meter goes up and down. Um,
Cat meter.
I I, currently have four. I did actually pass off my kitten to my ex Lisa, but her mom has a tendency and bad habit of looking outside and opening the door, and this kitten will run out every time it sees an open door. So I had to take her back. So yeah, I have four. And they all pretty much get along, and they're indoor outdoor cats because I couldn't just have them indoors here. My apartment's not that gigantic, so
Right.
but I have like a huge front yard and a huge backyard, and of course they go visit the neighbors and anybody else who will feed them.
Right. That's awesome.
But so what's happening with your creation? Pro wrestling gators.
It's going good. I'm just slowly like playing around with art styles because I want to like make it more. I want to make it stylized and in a way like it kind of feels like it's like a cartoon. So I'm just
Right.
looking into like shapes and all this stuff. Like I got Eddie Nunez because I freaking love his art style. So it's very
Yeah.
fun. So it's like like his art style, like it can be adapted to animation and stuff. And I looked into other artists as well that have fun styles where they play around with shapes and stuff and play with the anatomy. So I'm looking into that. As
Cool.
well as Disney, because I look into Disney as well, but they don't have a lot of like gators or crocs for me to look into reference. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to do research and play with shapes and how to differentiate the head shapes as well. So it's a fun
Yeah.
challenge, but I think the only thing I got to figure out now is just the color scheme of things. So I'm looking at a lot of books that I like that has to do with dudes with big bagongs of muscles, and then how you can put color into that world. So that'll be another challenge for me. But other than that, I mean, I have Peter, aka Pat DeLuca. He did the panel work for me, so I just got to draw it. That's all I need to do. I'm just doing my part and just find the art style that I feel more comfortable with, as well as like doing a turn sheet, so that way I
Right.
can keep the characters consistent within the pages.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I recently took a look at like I follow Richard Friend, and
Okay.
there's this guy Kelsey that joins him a lot of times. Kelsey's going to be coloring his Richard's book.
Oh, awesome.
So I checked out a couple of videos from Kelsey, and he was showing off his artwork. And Kelsey's like inspired by the old Disney animators, and his work is gorgeous. Like just the simple pencil work, the way it flows, and it's like very inspired by like the old animation styles, 2D animation.
Wow.
And so I think like that would be something to look into, like that route. Like just keep it fun and juicy. and,
Yeah.
um, and what is it? There's this guy Mike Bear, artist inker.
Mhm.
He always used to say, "Make it juicy, make it juicy."
What was his name? Kelsey.
um, I keep thinking of grammar. It's not grammar. The easiest way is to look up like Richard Friend,
Okay.
um, Super Fun Sunday shows like Kelsey with Kelsey.
With Kelsey. Okay, I'm like,
And,
oh, yeah. I subscribe to Richard Friend, and
yeah,
I really love his content, and
yeah.
I'm thinking of like being a patron for his stuff, but it's just like just budgeting and all this fun stuff that grown-ups have to look into.
Well, I haven't yet because I want to be ready when I do, but I will. Shannon, EJB is
Oh, Kelsey
here.
Shannon. Oh, I follow him on
Kelsey
Twitter.
Shannon.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, I'll look into his work.
his work is gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
no, his art is amazing.
but yeah, I've been thinking of being a patron of Richard because he's got he says he's got like hundreds of videos,
Yeah,
but he also has like a lot of them are artist oriented, like if you want to learn certain things or whatever. And I will definitely go to his Patreon and watch all those videos and get schooled by Richard. He's a good guy. I met him years ago in San Diego. We talked for a while.
Oh,
awesome. Very cool. He's super talented.
Yeah, man. I know. I was just so used to like hearing Richard's voice for so long, and I believe he did like a live stream where like how to be a full-time artist or stuff, or how to grow your audience. And once I saw his face, I'm like, man, you're not how I imagine you to be. And it's like same thing with radio personalities. Like you hear their voices, and then when you see their faces, it's like, oh my gosh, like no, way off. But I don't know. It's fun. It's fun that you just hear their voices for so long, and then once like the big reveal, like the Wizard of Oz, like you now know who the Oz is behind the voice.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, that's I used to listen to the radio all the time, DJs, and there was this one guy, Vince Scelsa, had a Sunday evening show called Idiot's Delight, and he was fantastic because he knew the history and he knew all these alternative bands that were unknown bands, and like he really dug up such gold music wise and would just give you the whole history of all of it. It was a fantastic program, and it wasn't until like the internet that I gotta look at his face. It's like, oh, that's what he looks like.
Right. Yeah, man. It's I know it's pretty fun.
What are you sharing?
Oh no, I'm just drawing. So.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't want to get in trouble with Scott here, But who knows? I'll find ways to get in trouble.
Richard Friend had an anniversary recently. He posted his wedding picture. That was cool to see. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's like I got a lot going on, but hopefully like next year I'll start really knocking off project by project. I'm going to do what I can for the remainder of this year. And frankly, the only thing important is me, finishing off retro, and paying gigs. But I got a lot of books I'm going to be publishing under Has Comics, dude.
That's awesome.
So, like, my studio name is Human Art Studio, and so that's HAS, Has. So, that's where that comes from.
So what got you started to like, you feel like, hey, you know what? I think I want to do my own comic now. And even though you know that you might be busy or whatnot, like what made you take the step that you want to do your own project now after being in the comics for so long?
And it's like, if I really think about it, I always wanted to do my own comic, and I've dabbled, and it's taken me this long in a sense because I've become so good at one skill, and it's like then going back and seeing how I penciled now and seeing how I wrote now. It's like, and the whole production of putting together a comic. And it's like, I have to up my other skills. And so it's like I've been sort of banging around for years, sort of like leveling up other things other than my inking. My knowledge of it, my experience of it. It's like I did a few web comics that didn't really go far, but that gave me experience of putting pages together and lettering and little production. So it's kind of like I was hesitant because I really wanted my different skills on the same level. It's never going to be the case, but
Right.
but I thought about doing it, like I'll get a team, and that was back in 2009,
Right.
thereabouts. And I got one artist, and he really didn't work out. I did a couple of pages and stuff, but so then I found Rich. Me and Rich years ago, we worked on at least one issue of Razor back in the 90s. Razor was one of the Bad Girl comics, Everett Hartso, and so we had some experience working together, and I lost touch with him. Like back then, we only really kept in touch via phone, but I lost touch with him throughout the years. But then when the internet came around and Facebook especially, I reconnected with a lot of people, and he was one of them. And when the original penciler I was going to use didn't work out, I was like, "Hey, Rich, do you want to work on a comic with me?" He was like, "Heck yeah!" And it's like, "Okay, let's do it." And so he penciled most of the issue. This is like the last page, page 20, that he completed back then, back in 2009-ish. He did 20 pages. He penciled out 20 pages. And let's see, that 2009 to now, I don't know. I moved around a lot. I had different girlfriends. Life happened. Lots of stuff developed. I became friends with different groups of people online, and sort of took their lead and whatnot. Anyway, it's like you really have to make a commitment. If you want to do something and finish something,
right,
you have to make it a priority. And up until recent times, I really wasn't. Like, I have too much stuff that I pretty much put on the shelf because having a steady income is more priority. So you can make things work, and that's what I've been doing. It's like the struggle is hard at times to because like right now the majority of what I'm working on isn't bringing me in income, including retro. It's not bringing in me a dime. But once I get it done, then I'll do Indiegogo and potentially make some decent money. Depending on the initial 80 or so people who will get the first copies. Like I did a 5-day Kickstarter a couple of years back. for initial funding, they're going to get it first. So depending on if they like it or not, if they share it across the internet or not, you know, will, you know, either enhance my Indiegogo or not. Landon goes, what do you envision as the future of Has? That's how he talks. No.
Right.
The future of Has, like I got a big vision. But the simplistic vision of what Has will be is, you know, I want to publish a lot of books. I got a superhero line. I got people who want to do, you know, want to be the artists on them. I got a couple of them started. But you know, there'll be a batch of single character books, and then there'll be the team book. So retro is the first single character book, and there's 6 others. Then there'll also be the team book. Above and beyond that, I got a bunch of one-shots I want to do. I got a number of graphic novels I want to do, and just other random stuff. So,
Right.
you know, I just want to publish a lot of good books, you know, like the superhero stuff will be ongoing. A lot of the other stuff will be, you know, short.
Right.
So it'll at least give a variety of, you know, different things for different likes and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, you know, it's like I just want to be hecka busy doing a lot of my own books. I'm still interested in working with other people, you know, like I love inking, so like I'll never stop working for other people.
Right.
But you know, I want my career to run solely on what I make through my own stuff.
Right.
And so that's what I hope my future is. Yeah. So we've been going a while, and I think I've come to a good point in the page to close this out. If you want to throw out where people can find you online and anything you want to promote, now's the time.
Yeah. Okay. So let me go and do that right now and share the links down to the private chat. So I'm the colorist
Okay.
for The Flock for issues 2 and 3. This campaign, we have a second chance campaign called the Flock series, and you can get issues 1 through 2. Let me go and do that right now. We also have a tier where you can commission me, and I'll do an 11 by 7. It was actually a digital. I've got to emphasize that because, you know, it's a digital tier where, you know, pretty much, you know, I'm going to give you a digital art piece that I'm going to do for you. It's going to be 11 by 17 at a high res, and it's going to be in color. So you could use it with anything. You can even commission me just to do like a comic cover for you. So for this character. So yeah, I mean, you could do whatever you want with it. It is all yours. You could turn it into a comic cover, a print, however. So what was it? Someone commissioned me just to color, and I'm like, all right, you know, I'll color it. So
Nice.
however you guys feel. You know, it's yours. It's your tier. It's your commission. I'm just letting you know. It's a digital commission, not physical commission. It's going to be digital, and you get a digital PDF with Flock issues 1 through 3 as well. On my channel, I do have a YouTube channel. It's the same. It's the same name under hit here, Ichthus, and pretty much I do daily Sunday streams at night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna be dabbling with some mainstream characters as well, but it'll be done by pros. So I feel way more confident now coloring under a pro than last year. I did like a few. I did with Brett Booth with Cyclops, and that caught a lot of attention. Even Brett Booth retweeted it, so it
Cool.
caught like a lot of eyes. So I feel like I'm confident enough to like color over some pros and learn learn from other colorists as well that colored under the pros and see and study and how they approach their art style, and just makes it like twice as more cool than how the line art was.
Right. Very cool. Yeah, like that last piece, the Eddie Nunez piece of your character
Oh, thank you.
came out amazing. It looks gorgeous. And you got that as your Twitter icon.
Yeah, let, let me switch it so they know exactly what
There
you're
you
talking
go.
about.
Yeah, it's a great piece.
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, I'm debating to even put it in print because, dude, it's so good. Like once Eddie Nunez, he has a website, but like once like he has it live, like I'll definitely like reach out to him to do a variant cover at least because I just love his work, man. I definitely do.
Yeah. And if you want somebody cheap to ink it, I'll do
Thank you, man.
it.
I'll definitely keep you in mind of under the checklist of inkers.
There you go. Cool, man. Yeah, definitely go check out the Flock on Kickstarter right now. Would you say 15 days, something?
15 days, and it's fully funded,
Yeah.
so you're most definitely gonna get the book, as well as when we opened the Second Chance campaign. Like Scott was already fulfilling for the Indiegogo campaign, and everyone sent pictures and saying they received our books and they loved it. So you're definitely gonna get your copy, and it was a lot of fun. It's if you love Golden Age comics, as well as like just something to read with the family, and it's all ages. Go get it, guys. It's a lot of fun. I got the chance to sit down and read, and I just had a blast, reading it.
Right. And I put your YouTube there,
Thank you, buddy.
and people will follow you on Twitter. There's your at official Ictus.
Mm-hmm. I know that's the crazy thing is like I didn't want to do it like that. It's just when I was creating a Twitter account, somebody already has it, so I'm like, what the heck? So I searched it, and like the person who has my name doesn't even use it. So I'm like, well, I guess I got to be tacky now and say official without the
Right.
blue check mark. But whatever.
Yeah. Hard names are hard to come by. That's why, like, when I was thinking of my studio names, like, what the hell do I call my studio?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Humanod Studio, and I was like, nobody else is using that. Okay, good, fine. Yeah. I'm a human. I make art, and it's a studio.
There you go. That's your motto. That's great.
That's my motto. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching and checking us out. Retro is moving forward, and I got a pile of other work I got to get through this week. So yeah, I'm gonna try to stream a lot more regularly again, and I'm gonna finish up retro and then move on to the graphic novel. That's going to be my biggest project. I haven't done a graphic novel. It's like the biggest thing I've done. Single thing was 48 pages. I did a mini series. I inked Cal Fury over a Marines mini series But it came out at a bad time. It's like nobody cared at that point. It's like when they were doing the Marines video game. It's like nobody saw that, so nobody cared. But yeah, Designated is what I'll be working on my channel here. I don't think we have a logo. I'll have to ask the guys so I could put it on the cover here. But yeah, going to be finishing up Retro Inks hopefully soon. So make sure to comment and push me to that point. All right, everybody, have a great day. I'll see you again soon, and keep making comics.